showing up. Oh, you and me, we're gonna be legendary. Legendary. We're gonna be legendary. Never raise up a white flag. Didn't come this far just to turn back. The curtains fall for the last act. Breaking that levee, breaking that levee. We don't back down, this is what we're made of. Standing our ground, here it goes down. Oh, you and me, we're gonna be legendary. Oh, wait to see, we're gonna be legendary. Ain't no time like the here and now. Yeah, we showed up, now we showing up. Oh, you and me, we're gonna be legendary. Legendary. We're gonna be legendary. We don't back down, this is what we're made of. Standing our ground, here it goes down. Oh, you and me, we're gonna be legendary. Oh, wait and see, we're gonna be legendary. Ain't no time like the here and now. Yeah, we showed up, now we showing up. Oh, you and me, we're gonna be legendary. Legendary. We're gonna be legendary. Legendary. We're gonna be legendary.
It's explosive. You can't control this, no. I got metal running through my bones, a resurrection like a ghost. Hurricane, go ahead and blow. Where you could keep your white flag, I'll never fold. A shadow on the battlefield, a survivor never yield. A thunder, go ahead and shake. Don't run from the storm when I feel the rain. There's no rest for the wicked, no victory for the weak. And when the weeds getting thicker, you'll never see me on my knees. You can't control this, it's explosive. You can't control this, it's explosive. You can't control this, it's explosive. I got a fever in my blood, a falling embers from above. I feel the heat when the pressure blows, a wildfire that you can't control. There's no rest for the wicked, no victory for the weak. And when the weeds getting thicker, you'll never see me on my knees. You can't control this, it's explosive. You can't control this, it's explosive. You can't control this, it's explosive.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
LSRTV and CRN welcome you to coverage of the Northwest Racing Series. The trucks are at the Magic Mile, the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Tonight, for the final race in the month of July. We'll be off next Monday night. Ready to see what happens and see which driver for the Northwest will be taking that virtual lobster home when this race ends. Welcome to 200 miles with the trucks at New Hampshire. I'm Wesley Outlet. Jeremy Stanley, a person that I worked with in the past, I believe it was last year. We done a race with the Full Throttle Sim Racing trucks at Watkins Glen. He is joining us in the booth. And, of course, Charles Wooten pushing the buttons on production. And, Jeremy, welcome aboard, man. Obviously, the best of the Pacific Northwest ready to take on New Hampshire. We'll see what happens here tonight.
Last time I covered a race here, I was in a next-gen race, and 3-4 lanes are being utilized here. Really excited to see what these trucks can do here around this 1 mile facility. And yeah, it's been a couple months since I've been in the booth, but expect me more often. I should be here almost every single week for quite some time. So I'm going to get strapped in and get ready to get relearned here on this Monday night.
We welcome you to the Loudon's Lobster 140. Again, 140 laps will be the distance here this evening. My apologies on that, because usually we always do go 200 miles for races, but this is a 1 mile track, and I think 140 laps will be very sufficient as qualifying is on track right now. Let's take a look real quickly at the race on information for tonight's event. As I mentioned, 140 laps will be the distance. There it is. No fast repair or something new for this series. 100% fuel capacity, 4 total sets of tires. That's the ones they're occupying. Is Ottenbacher, the Billings, Montana driver, going for a spin in the 89. 3 attempts at overtime if need be. 140 laps, 140 miles. As now we see the former Northwest Cup Series champion, the Popsicle number 4, Brian Barnes, now making a lap here.
I was going to say you're looking for 60 laps over time, but we know you get 3 attempts. You're not going to do that. We will not hit the 200-mile mark. 140 sounds way more accurate. And you see right here, look at them, up in the dark groove, 3rd, 4th lane. It can be used. It gets more grippier, it seems like, as the service continues to press on with its oval stuff. And so it really spreads this track out. Even in qualifying, I'm surprised they're not utilizing the 2nd lane as much. These guys are finding that grip and using it.
I'm trying to think, Jeremy, if I believe I'm correct, for the first time in series history, or as long as I've been in the booth as lead anchor for the Northwest Truck Series, we have a three-way tie for first. It is a battle between Sean Breitzman, Ryan Gormley, and Dennis Moore. These guys are right there with one another. Brian Barnes on the outside in fourth. Jeff Stabnow, the Daytona winner, in the top five. And again, Breitzman, Gormley, Moore, whichever driver can really break through here tonight at the Magic Mile could possibly break away here from these other competitors to be the new points leader. And speaking of, again, Jeff Stabnow, we just saw the fifth place points man working around. He's kind of had a slump after winning at Daytona, and now we watch Carl Burke, the Winnemucca, Washington driver, qualify.
See what kind of lap time he posts here around this 1 mile track, using a lane lower between the second and third groove this time through 1 and 2. A little bobble there, got quite loose, takes a shallow exit, so this first lap's going to be scrubbed. He's going to be banking complete on the second lap, loose in the turn here. Looks like he's fighting this thing. His wheels left and right in the center. He's going to lose the speed on exit. This will not be a good qualifying session for Mr. Burke.
Yeah, Carl Burke's got to try to find some type of a rhythm here to get back on that second lap. Be cool, if you will, on the side of the panels of the truck number 53 Chevrolet. And he's got to find himself a cool lap. Right now he's in the top 10 in 7th. Actually a better negotiation around the track of the clock, Jeremy, than what we thought. But right now the 53 works his way off of turn number 4. Coming off of that corner, coming up against the outside wall to the line. Will he improve? He's going to be at 10th now, 31.360, as he did fall back a couple of other spots because more drivers are taking qualifying time. You're seeing them one by one. Real quickly, let's take a look at the Kaufman Creative weather conditions. As we see Burke making an extra lap. It comes to a time where 2 laps is all you get in qualifying, or at least that's what counts. As you see, Kaufman Creative weather conditions, air temp is 79. In the sim, wind speed 10 miles an hour, drops back to 9. Track temp in triple digits at 106. And sim time is just after, I believe, 3 o'clock Eastern time. So,
yeah, those that track temp right there, triple digits. If you're going around a banked mile and a half, it doesn't affect you as much. But when you have a flat, wide sweeping corner like this, you need all the grip you can. And when it's that hot, you don't get the grip that sometimes you want. And so we see the 53 continue to pull laps, even though it does not count for sure. But yeah, back there, the 106 degrees will definitely play a factor in how these guys are tuning in their setups or how they're going to attack their corner entry and exit, and try to really manage that tie work, because that will be key here tonight.
Yeah, we'll certainly keep an eye on that. And another thing I believe, Jeremy, we better keep an eye on and watch too, as we watch these trucks working off the corner, diamonding off of 1 and 2, but especially off of turn number 3 and 4. Watch the back end of those trucks, man. You make one wrong slip and you might be going around here. We'll have to see how these guys can negotiate and fight the rear ends from obviously coming around during their race time tonight. It's one thing when you're on the track fighting the clock by yourself, but when you got all these other guys around you, we're going to have to really keep an eye on it.
Yeah, absolutely. Here you're going to really widen out 3 and 4. Jeff is going to take that wide exit, maximize his straightaway speed. Make sure you don't overdrive turn 1, though, or all that extra speed that you built up is all for nothing. Looks like he's going to slide up almost 2 entire lanes. Not sure if that was the plan there. That might have scrubbed a little extra speed off of here. Headed down to turn number 3. He's probably going to take that same approach to the second lane. Let's see how much he slides. Only 2 grooves again. It seems to be where he's going to find that grip patch as he slides up the corner. Gets to corner exit into the start finish line. 30.744. Slots of PA right now.
Yeah, qualifying just about to come to an end is now Paul Newton. The Paul Newton Designs number 27 entry forward on the racetrack. Let's see what he'll do. Is currently on course. It looks like Ryan Bloom 2022 series champion in the 25 entry right now, 30-149. That's where he stands on course as these drivers continue to take on the clock. It is right now Ryan Bloom, Kevin Smith, Tyler King, Devin West, Roy Grande are top 5 in qualifying. But again, with the clock down to about under 4 minutes remaining, anybody better find something. They better find it quickly here, because if they don't, it looks like Ryan Bloom's going to lock one up here. It looks like Paul Newton put a pretty good lap down, though, Jeremy. He's up to 3rd.
Yeah, P3 right there. Let's see if he can improve. I don't expect it to happen. Getting a one and done here. We're going to find out. Really low corner entry here, and sticks it all the way through 3 and 4 out the line. 30.454. That's going to keep him P3.
So right now, Ryan Bloom, Kevin Smith, Paul Newton, Tyler King, Devin West, defending series champion of 2023. And now there's a 2-time. Here comes a former Cup Series champion, actually. Sean Brightsman on track, the Brights Boutique entry. Couple of wins this year for him and that Team LSRTV Toyota driver, originally out of Puyallup, Washington, now resides in Tucson, Arizona. Let's watch and see what the 46 can do as the clock is mirroring 2.5 minutes left in time. If anybody's going to take it away from Ryan Bloom, you better show it now.
Yeah, we're going to see here 2.5, as you said. And turn 2 did not look too great for the number 46, so Sean. We're going to see what he does in turn 3. See if he's just going to, it looks like he's going to take it wide. So he's probably going to scrub lap 1 and go all or nothing here on lap 2. Gets a nice low corner, but gets loose again. You see the truck left and right a little bit. Going to lose some of that straightaway speed. He's going to have to maximize anything he can here in turn 1 and 2 to recover that lap, even though it's P9. Not a bad position, but I know he's got more in that Toyota Tundra.
Yeah, definitely got to show something, no doubt, as you said, Jeremy. Here's the Fanta Coca-Cola 07 machine. This is Dana Rogers. His Ford now works across the line. Let's see what Dana Rogers can do. Boy, the bright orange colors on that number 07 truck. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. Big hello, wave to Pepto Jr. I wonder if that's our buddy from the Full Throttle Sim Racing Truck Series on Wednesday night. As Auto Club Speedway is where we'll be on Wednesday for that race, as the season looming at the end of the 2024 B schedule for that program. As now Dana Rogers will stay locked to the top 20, 17th overall, as he'll turn a 39.49, and there's 1 minute left to go on the clock, Jeremy, and there is still Ray Fournier, Troy Daggett, Chris Kynes, Tyler Kim, Todd Miles. There's a handful of drivers that are either going to start at the rear or they better get on the track fast to try to beat the clock.
Yeah, I thought I saw the last driver just exit, and so that is going to be it for this qualifying session. No one on track. Looks like we got 21 going to be posting time. Out of the 26 are going to be entering this New England race here for 140 laps. And what you call it, the Virtual Lobster 140?
Yeah, tonight's race. I don't know who come up with the new thing for the schedules, Jeremy, but it's kind of creative. But tonight's race is called the Loudon's Lobster 140. Loudon's Lobster 140. It's, by the way, race number 15 of the season.
Yeah. 10-4 on that there as we count down to the final few seconds, and that is it. Ryan Bloom with his 30.149 will secure the pole here for tonight's race.
And that'll actually be Ryan Bloom's 4th pole of the year, a matter of fact, to go along with his 1 win of the season. 4 top 5, 7 top 10 so far. Climbed up 2 spots from 11th to 9th in the points after last week's race. Ryan Bloom is starting in the, of course, pole spot as we get ready now to introduce the starting lineup here tonight here at Virtual New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Ryan Bloom, Kevin Smith, that's Win Racing on the front row in row number 1. Row 2 will find Paul Newton and Tyler King. Row number 3, we'll look and see in defending series champion Devin West and Roy Grande in the 11. He'll start 6th. Row number 4, we'll see Stephen O'Hare in the 41, Stephen Paulison in 58. Your top 10 looks like this with Sean Brightsman and the prodigy Ryan Gormley. He'll start 10th, Jeremy.
Yeah, 11th's going to be Jeff Stabnow. In 12th place will be Christopher White. 13th and 14th will find James Vinning and Brian Barnes. 15th and 16th will be Frank Harris and Rob Gambill Jr. 17th will be Dana Rogers. 18th, Brett Johnson. 19th, Carl Burke. In 20th place, John Ottenbacher. 21st will be Dan West Jr. 22nd, Troy Daggett. 23rd, Ray Fournier. And 24th will be Chris Keynes. 25th, Tyler Kim. And it looks like the last one on the grid. Not sure if he's on track, but it'll be the 62 of Todd Miles.
140 laps again around this track here at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Primarily a flat racing surface. So that's something we'll definitely keep an eye on and watch throughout the evening as these drivers get ready to take on this facility here at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Again, we mentioned the battle for the track or for the championship. In the regular season, it is still wide open. And I'm talking about the track dimensions. I just want to throw this out here real quickly. 1.058 miles speedway here. Of course, the banking is 4 degrees on the front straightaway near the apron, 7 degrees on the outside wall. And again, it is a 450-foot radius of all 4 corners. Exactly paperclip size. 2 1,500-foot straightaways in length. Perfectly. 4 degrees to 7 degrees from the top to the bottom of the apron to the top of the safer barrier. And again, Jeremy, it's primarily a flat track, a little bit of banking, but I really think we're going to have to be watching these guys work off the corner in turn 4 and turn 2.
Even though it's a wide track and a fast track, it's still going to be short track mentality here tonight. Green flag is out. This thing is underway. Ryan gets a nice little almost 1 truck length advantage over Kevin Smith entering turn number 1 here. Kevin's going to really drive it in deep, straight up to the 3rd groove. Going to go 3 wide here. It looks like Tyler King tried to stick his nose in there. Does not. He backs out. Still, the whole entire field.
Oh, trouble! Trouble
in
in turn 2, guys. Got a caution.
Okay.
We got one going around in the back of the pack. That's going to be Chris Kynes in the Mountain Dew 88. His Chevrolet at the bottom of the grass. They have not triggered a caution yet. We put 1 lap on the board, but Ryan Bloom in front. The leaders are going to be coming at him full steam ahead as they work into turn 1 and 2. We still stay under the green flag.
He's back and rolling. Should be up to speed by the time these. Oh, we got one more. Here we go.
Trouble.
Levin's hard to the wall. 1 truck without a front
Roy
clip here.
Grande.
Caution definitely out. Still piloting.
Roy Grande, Troy Daggett. 7 of Johnson, all involved. A multi-truck accident. And the caution will fly for the first time. Not for Chris Kynes, but he is saved by the bell. Literally, the Taco Bell truck, Roy Grande and others involved in this incident. Here's a look at a replay for what just happened.
106 degrees, cold tires. Not a great combination. Just breaks loose there right in front of the 41. The 45 takes a lot of damage. It looks like the 7 and maybe even another truck there, the blue and yellow one, got tagged by the back bumper, the number 11 there. So about 5 or 6 trucks really involved on this lap 3 wreck.
Yeah, big problems for drivers like obviously Roy Grande, Brett Johnson, John Ottenbacher. Just some of the other drivers. Here's a look at a replay. Sean Brightsman got a piece of it, but he was able to continue along. Look at this as he glazed over the front of the bow, the left front of the 11. That's Stephen O'Hare in front of him. And there you see the contact right there was O'Hare that he pounced over on the left front. And still the 46 able to continue along. And I wonder what kind of damage is on that truck. And you got to remember, they got to go on the damage clock to try to fix damage. They got to go on time. It could take 2 minutes. It could take 10 minutes. And in addition to that, you got to remember, there's no fast repairs in this series, Jeremy. You got to be on your P's and Q's, especially in the early going of the race.
Yeah, that's a lot of damaged trucks there early on. Curious to see how much damage Sean has as he got 2 wheels up off the ground, still on pit road, 40 seconds in his pit stall. Quite a bit of damage to repair. I would imagine some suspension. The 4 and the 7 also 40 seconds in their pit stall. Looks like the 7, Brett Johnson, he's now removed himself from pit road. And so has, it looks like, Barnes and Sean. They are now all out there. Almost a minute of a pit time for Sean there in the 46. Just beat the pace car.
Looks like the field is quickly getting back into formation 2x2 after the choose rule. Ryan Bloom, Kevin Smith, Win Racing still on the front row. Followed by, of course, Tyler King. Paul Newton all in this mix. We'll get ready to try to go back for a restart. Still a long way to go in this one here. By the way, quick reminder, we are off next Monday night. The series will be off. We'll come back for the month of August, and that'll put us in the final 3 races, August 5th, August 12th, August 19th, Indy, Chicago, Talladega, and then before Labor Day, Jeremy, the playoffs for 16 drivers to battle for a championship of the 2024 season. Here comes the pace car, working on pit road. The field back to the Geico restart zone. Green flag flies. Bloom gonna get a whole shot on the boss. Kevin Smith, King behind him. So is Newton. West Stabnow right there in tow as they work into turn number 2 on the flat off the corner.
Tyler trying everything he can there to maximize that turn 2 exit. Just not enough grip there early on. These tires are still cold. Have not had more than a lap and a half of green flag racing here. Comes off at turn number 4. Looks like top 6 or 7 all single filed out here. Much more laid back restart compared to the first initial start. Going ahead in turn number 1 and 2. I've seen quite a few trucks getting their right sides just on that darker patch, but as you take that bigger overhead shot, you see over the top 10 single filed, 3 wide now mid-pack.
Bonsai and inside outside, that's Ryan Gormley, the prodigy, on the bottom of the racetrack. He's in the top 20. Daggett is there, so is Paulison. Audenbacher up high. Here comes Chris Kynes, by the way, the 88 machine that spun on the start off turn 2 but did not trigger a caution. He battles now right behind those drivers in the top 20 as they work again on lap number 7 in turn 2.
Oh, several trucks loose there. One, number 7,
Johnson.
Brett Johnson. Great job saving that thing. Barely touched the grass. He keeps it straight. He's going to lose a lot of time here. A lot of trucks there, Wes, was loose off of turn 2 at the same time.
And Jeremy, you got to remember, dude, we chatted about this as Troy Daggett about smacks, actually does smack the outside safer barrier in the Geico restart zone. We talked about turn 2, turn 4, and we're seeing it. These trucks are just fighting each other as Newton almost got tagged along with West getting loose off of 2.
A lot of truck setups are just not happy right now. Need to get more pressure, I guess, built into these Goodyear tires before you start making strong attempts here. 27 straight under fire by Jeff Stabnow on the 24. Was directly up against his back bumper. Is not going to elect to take the pass effort to turn number 1 and 2. Going to run the lane just a little bit higher there. Get the clean air on the nose, but he gets loose at the same time. He's going to lose all that momentum there.
Loving the new wrap job of the 24 truck, obviously, of Mr. Jeff Stabnow. We got one in the grass. There's James Vining. The Aztec Sim Racing Toyota. And he'll get back rolling again. We'll stay under the green flag. Again, watching these drivers somehow trying to negotiate, obviously, around this racetrack. We're finding it again, working into the corner here at the Magic Mile. There goes the 56. There's Chris White as Tyler Kim's into the wall. Gormley's got to check up in front of them. And we'll still stay green. We've had many drivers, 2 or 3 in the last 2 laps hit the wall, and luckily they're able to continue along.
Tyler's right front is heavily pushed in there on that right headlight of his Ford F-150. That was a hard impact. I wouldn't be surprised that affects the mechanical grip there of Tyler as he runs up to the 4th groove here. It looks like he's going to get passed by multiple trucks. That truck is heavily beat right now.
So the Ford Performance entry number 38, Kim, falls all the way back to 18th. Damages on that truck. You know, he's praying for a caution flag right now where he can try to go get some damage fixed. Remember, no fast repair in this series. That's something of years past, if you will, for a long time. Since the inception of the Northwest Racing Series, if you will, Jeremy Stanley, where if something happened to your truck, you got a mulligan. Kind of like in golf. You got a mulligan in this iRacing server sim, where if you have a problem, you could go back, you could hit that reset and try to go again. Now, you don't have it. You've got to be methodical. You've got to be patient. You've got to know when to say when to back off, when to be patient, when to be aggressive, and try not to mess your truck up so you could be there at the end of the race and try to win.
It just makes it that much more realistic. I hate when someone wrecks it and has a chance to come back to win again. It just never sat well with me. So I appreciate them jumping it to no fast repairs. And so it just brings the town down a little bit more. You got to be a little more conservative. Can't go full send, because if you wreck it, you're done.
One of the things, if Charles Wooten can show us real quickly, I want to look at the weather conditions and see how much they've changed within the last, 25 minutes? Look at this now, just at the bottom of the hour of 3 p.m. Eastern time. That's 1500 hours military time. And it is partly cloudy, and it's really not changed that much. One thing I am noticing, though, is the wind picking up. Jeremy, especially off the corners into 2 and 4, could that be causing these trucks to really fight handling coming off of that corner with the wind being the way it is?
I mean, a little bit there. I think the heat has more of a factor for sure. The trucks are just doing just under 100 miles an hour in the center of these corners. They get to about 105, maybe 110 when they get the corner exit. I don't think that's playing that much of a factor. It can a little bit, of course, if you're on edge. But if you have a pretty dialed-in truck, I think it's going to cause no issue. It's just that triple-digit track temp right now really just putting these guys on edge at the moment.
Everybody up against the outside safer barrier. There you see Paulison's truck right now sitting in the 15th spot. Let's go back up and catch the leader from one blue machine to the other. Ryan Bloom is the man. He's got about a half-second lead right now over his partner, boss, teammate from Win Racing, Kevin Smith. West is third. King and Stabnow currently your top 5 as we continue to still show Paulison around the racetrack, currently in the 15th position. And behind them, look at now, watching Ray Fournier and Tyler Kim, all these guys having some kind of problem earlier in the race, but still on the lead lap as we're closing in on lap number 20.
Yeah, quickly approaching that there, 58 currently on your screen now. Ryan Bloom is just got the best lap on track. Every single section that the timing loops are hit. The 25 has the best time right now. Got that 1 second lead, it looks like. So just great performance early on here for the number 25. And these guys are really starting to string it out, which this is a very typical New Hampshire race. You're going to have that short track mentality the first 10 laps, and then when the race continues and continues as the 58 really goes down low for whatever reason that was. But yeah, you're going to see this thing string out for a little bit, and that is completely natural for New Hampshire.
Watching Paulison work his way back around the start-finish line. I guess our producer is fixated on showing Stephen Paulison. I don't know why. As we're working lap number 20 when they come to the line, Ryan Bloom is still the leader. Kevin Smith is second. Devin West is third. Tyler King, Jeff Stabnow, the top 5. Had a little hiccups and thrills and spills at the start, Jeremy, but now things have kind of settled down, if you will, as we're now single file around the racetrack.
Yeah, Steven must have paid Charles a good deal of money to get this excellent TV time here. But there we go. We shift over now to the 88.
About time.
Chris Kynes. Yep. We're utilizing the third gear. We've seen some racing right here. This, oh no, heavy contact.
Wow.
Got loose real quick. And he parks it right in the middle of the track, and there's your second caution on lap number 22.
Yeah, this will trigger his second yellow flag of the race. Chris Kynes was the first man that spun off of turn number 2 in that Diamond Dew Chevrolet number 88, and he got away with the first caution until about a lap later when other drivers were involved. This go around, he will bring out the second caution right in front. Kynes got loose in front of Sean Brightsman, and everybody else was on the binders to miss him. And then, worse for wear, Jeremy, you caught this part of it where he hit the wall right about now. Oh. He hit the wall on the front stretch, and that already caused the right front to lock up. And I think the insult from there was to hit the safer barrier off turn 2. This damages the machine.
I don't know if you noticed, but his left front tire, like, you don't have random mechanical failures in iRacing, but before he went up to the wall, his left front turned hard to the left, and then it just shot straight up the track like almost something broke. That was really awkward to see from the 88 Chris Kynes there, but that drove straight to the outside wall. I thought he maybe got loose and overcorrected, but now just straight drove into it. Parks it. His night should be done for the evening, but here comes everyone down pit road.
Ryan Bloom, Kevin Smith, Devin West, everybody in the top 12, top 15, top 20 for that matter, all coming down pit road, except for Stephen Paulison. Paulison does not come down pit road. He is now going to be scored as the new leader, and we got pit stops going on. This Team Win Racing right there. There you see Newton, all these drivers getting work, and very early going, 20 laps in, 23 laps in. Next time around, obviously, working lap 22, Jeremy. Is this early to pit, you think?
So I'm kind of thinking about that myself. Steven's probably thinking this is going to be a caution-filled event. You get 4 sets of tires. He's going to conserve and not pit. Everybody else comes down and takes the tires. I think this is a good call. I think you take the tires right now. Steven had really not much to lose, right? He was outside the top 10, just kind of hanging on. So he's going to gain a bunch of spots. He's going to get a lap led, which is good for the stat boards and for any type of points he's looking for. But long term, if this does go green, this is not going to pay off for him. But and you never know. We could have another caution just a couple laps. We saw how loose these trucks were, you know, from the get-go all the way through the first 10 laps of a green flag run. And so he might be trying something different. I'm not too sure, but well, actually, he did come down pit road this time, so he got his lap led. He's going to come down pit road, so he did it merely just for the points.
We're just getting started here for the Loudon's Lobster 140. We'll step away and take a break. We're also at the top of the hour. We will pause very quickly for 10 seconds of network identification. If you're listening on the radio in the Carolinas, this is CRN, the Community Radio Network.
Community Radio Network, WCRN 87.9 FM, Clayton, Garner, Raleigh, North Carolina, USA. We are CRN.
Drag race to the line!
Getting ready for the restart here at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Jeremy Stanley, I'm Wesley Outland, Charles Wooten on production, and we still have a long way to go in the run for the Lobster here tonight at New Hampshire, the Magic Mile. Ready to roar, back to green, 25 laps in, now working lap 26 as the field goes back to the Geico restart zone. Ryan Bloom on the gas for the whole shot into turn one.
Gets him clear the 0-0. Kevin almost hit the back bumper there. Got a great launch through the center of 1 and 2. Gets loose on exit though. Going to give up a truck length or so to the number 25, Ryan Bloom, to get to turn 3. You see the 3 truck length advantage there. Top 5 quickly goes single file, 6th on back. Looks like they're still duking out. First to the 27.55 off of turn 2. Looks like Dan West is going to sneak in front of the 27 of Paul Newton, get to turn 1.
Tries to weasel in and steal that spot, if you will. Down into the corner, Newton battles with Dan West Jr. West having a pretty quiet night. He's sideways, got it loose off of 2, somehow saved the back end from going around and collecting the drivers around him of Newton and the driver of King and Gormley. And now we got trouble up ahead. Looking sideways is Jeff Stab now. He saves the truck and will still stay green off 4.
A lot of positions lost there, continuing to get past. Here comes the 26, so Ryan going to make an effort, backs it down a little bit. That's actually the 333 of James Vining, but man, he lost a ton of positions right there. Back placed to 11th as he crossed the line.
What a save for Jeff Stabnow, the Daytona winner, a former champion of the Northwest Racing Series, and obviously the all-time starter of this series as well. Look at a replay again of what just happened. Boy, what a save, man. That could have been big trouble for the Billings, Montana driver, as now he battles along with Burke. There's Ray Fournier, Troy Daggett, Harris on the bottom. Harris had a solid finish last week, obviously, on the road course. And Ryan Bloom up in front. Smith, West, Newton, King, top 5. Now you see Fournier battling alongside. Trying to get there is Dana Rogers. Can't catch him. 30 laps in, 110 to go.
Yeah, looked like it was getting a little hairy there last time through 1 and 2. Looks like they separated just a little bit side by side though. The 07, Dana Rogers trying to get alongside. Ryan does not, but here's the 77. This is Frank Harris trying to get around Troy Daggett on the inside. He's got a lane and a half lower. Clears him momentarily, and I think he's going to hold this off a corner exit turn 4. He does secure that position, move him up to 13th.
There you see the 77 of Harris back in that 13th spot, as Jeremy mentioned. Watching Daggett there behind him of the white 99. 14th, 15th with Rogers up ahead. We saw Fournier and Paulison battle earlier. Ryan Bloom so far running away with it. Pepto Joe in the house, obviously, as I thought. Don't forget the Full Throttle Sim Racing Truck Series presented by Sim Racing Points will be in action Wednesday night, 200 miles at Auto Club Speedway. Coverage will begin 8:50 Eastern Time on, of course, iRacing on LSRTV. Stabnow and Vining battle. This is, by the way, going on for, I believe, 9th and 12th on the racetrack. Actually, correction, that's Gamble. Gamble battling with Stabnow. My apologies. Those trucks look so alike because that is the teammate to James Vining. That's actually Robert Gamble there, Jeremy.
Yeah, this is for 9th and 10th place. Your last 2 guys inside that top 10. Looks like he's going to give up a few truck links here. And now the 53 of Carl Burke slowly creeping in on the 54 of Rob Gamble Jr. And going to run just a quarter lane lower. Just still, he's right there, closing in ever so slightly here. Trying to not overdrive these corners. Still crucial. We're still triple digits on the track. Temp going back to your race leader, Ryan Bloom, with the 25. Kevin Smith has picked up his pace. He's under 3/10 and now behind the number 25.
Working off turn 4, there's the leader, Ryan Bloom. Kevin Smith, they're 1 and 2. We're single file. Devin West, Paul Newton, Tyler King in the top 5.
Still running at 3/10 here. Down the back straight, a little bit more of a gap here from the 25 and the 00. You can see the number 5 truck West 1 second back of these guys. So just a little 2-truck breakaway. The 00 Smith gets a little loose off of turn 4. That's going to allow Ryan to almost get 4/10 over Kevin. But Kevin's going to drive it in deep, puts his right sides on the darker turn or the 3rd groove asphalt there, but he's going to lose more time there, almost a half a second. Ryan Bloom starting to pick up that pace again.
Jeremy, we're closing in on 100 laps to go here, obviously, at New Hampshire. My question is this. It's been, with the exception of watching these drivers fight off the corners with the rear end of the trucks wanting to seem like they want to either they're losing control or the trucks themselves are going into maximum overdrive and losing them on their own with the handling. Like, look at Dan West Jr. again off of 2, trying to battle now with Gormley. Do you think that they're being patient right now? Because obviously there's still a long way to go in this race.
Yeah, you have to. You have guaranteed 1 more pit stop, probably even 2 left to go. And this track, triple digits again, being flat and you're going fast, like, you have to conserve a little bit, because if you get more on the throttle and more on the brake, you're just heating everything up. It's already hot out there. You're seeing a lot of trucks, 55, still Dan West, all over the place, but still keeping up with Ryan somehow in this 22. They're going to be nose to tail into turn 3. But yeah, you have to play the conservative game still, unless your truck's super dialed in and you know what you're putting yourself into if you try to go for it. If you've not practiced that, I don't recommend just trying to drive it in deep, because your long run will severely suffer and you'll be screaming for a caution or coming down pit road early.
Gormley and Dan West Jr. now battle. Both of those drivers have wins this year. Watching them work off the corner again. Obviously, Dan West Jr. with 1 win on the season. Ryan Gormley also with 1 win, but he is right there in that battle of the top 3, separated by 19 points. Brightsman, Gormley, and Moore.
Good little battle here. There's a couple good battles, even for 18th, 19th, and 20th. I know they're way far back, but these guys have been nose to tail for a little bit, trying to get around each other. That's Steven, John, and Brett. But still focusing on the front battle here. This is for 6th and 7th place still, as we're now officially just under the 100 laps to go here for the Loudon Lobster 140. And the 55, Dan backs it up just a little bit now, 2 truck blinks, but he's going to go way deep there in that 3rd groove. Going to try to diamond the corner exit here. Hesitates to get the throttle down, but still gets a good launch regardless over Ryan. They're going to get the turn 3, 1 truck blink, now 2 separates as Ryan drives it in kind of deep. Saw the line that the 55 took, puts his tires on that 3rd lane there. He then gets a better launch over Dan West, so there we go. You know, they're just mimicking each other's lines, trying to find that speed against one another.
Bloom, Smith, West, Newton, King, top 5. Gormley, West, that's Father West. Jeff Stabnow, Chris White, Robert Gamble, top 10. I mentioned Sean Brightsman, Gormley, and Moore because these drivers are the top 3 up into the point standings. Right now, Sean Brightsman is back in 15th. Ryan Gormley is 8th, as I mentioned. Dennis Moore is back in, oh boy, where is he at right now? Dennis Moore, I don't even think he showed up tonight.
I think you're correct there, sir.
That's going to be a big disappointment for him and the 44 truck not being present. Yeah, Dennis Moore's not here by nope.
Yeah, absolutely not, and yeah, it's gonna hurt for sure. This is the race I mentioned earlier, the little 3-truck battle here. This is 18th, 19th, and 20th. But I'm also noticing on my scoreboard here, within 2/10, 2nd place Kevin Smith is under attack by the number 5 of Devin West. He has been maintaining that 2/10 of a second gap there. So really trying to crack himself into the top 2 with that number 5 for the first time this evening as well.
Paulison, Rogers, and Johnson. This looks like the battle that our producer is fixated on, it seems like, for the last couple of laps or more than that. And now we go back up to the front. Click at RV entry now. Smith getting some company for the bridesmaid spot by West in third. And while that goes on, this allows Ryan Bloom to pull away from him there. He's not even inside as they work their way off of 4.
Still maintain that 0.2 of a second gap. Second and third place on your screen. And it's been like this for 5+ laps. So Devin West is just waiting very patiently, waiting for Kevin to make some type of mistake, or he's going to, utilize this tire saving method for a little bit longer, then maybe make the attack. There you see Kevin slide up the track, opens the door temporarily for Devin. Devin sticks the nose there, not going to get the launch off corner exit. Kevin's going to maintain second place once more. Still maintains 0.2 of a second. They're getting to turn number 1.
Bloom still in that top spot. By the way, we're under 100 laps to go. 48 when they come to the line. And watching these guys right now work their way back off of 4. There you see Smith battling with Ray Fournier up on the top. Ray Fournier in the 26. There's Smith also trying to hold off Devin West. This is for the second spot. And lap traffic up in the way as well, Jeremy, as they work off 2.
0-0 there, Kevin. Little mistake off of turn 2. Allows Devin to get a great run, but doesn't drive it up high enough. Can't clear the back bumper of Kevin. Kevin's going to slide up a little bit. Here's the look that the 5 might need. He is so close to making this pass attempt, as they're still within 1 second of Ryan Bloom. So all these guys in the top 3 are still really close. Shifting back a little bit. Dan West Jr. in the 55 P6 right now. He's just a couple truck lengths away from the number 21 Tyler King here, creeping in on him to get inside that top 5.
Dan West Jr. as Dana Rogers on pit road. We just saw him fight the rear end of the 55 a moment ago off of 4. And now we're seeing not caution pit stops, as some drivers did pit. Green flag pit stops now ongoing. Dana Rogers is now on pit road.
I don't know if this is a unscheduled stop or not, but 90 laps to go. I don't see that making it the race. There has to go at least one more pit stop before his night's all said and done, if it goes green the rest of the way. But yeah, I'm not sure if that fuel window is open. I don't think it is, because most of these guys pit 30 laps to go. That seems like it's way too short of a run. So I expect them to go at least in the 20-30 before we see the majority of the field then head down pit road.
Yeah, the last time we saw pit road become interesting was lap 23 and 24. And that was pretty much the laps where we saw people pit. Dan West Jr. still watching him fight that ill-handling truck alongside with the former champion of the Northwest Truck Series. That's a 2-time series champion of Dan West Jr., already a winner this year on the series as well. For a lot of these drivers also, Jeremy Stanley, once they complete tonight's race, they will have completed the minimum requirement of 15 races to compete in the playoffs. And obviously, if you're drivers with wins, this lets you know you will be going to the postseason.
And you said there's 3 races left before we get to the playoffs. That's correct?
Yep. Coming
so
up, well, will be Indianapolis in 2 weeks. That'll be on August the 5th. Chicagoland, and then obviously the wild card, that is Talladega Superspeedway.
I love that rule. 15 out of the 18 races you have to make to qualify. It's not like you get that little cheap NASCAR waiver saying, "Oh, you're suspended 2 weeks. We'll still let you in, no problem, even though we kicked you out." So that's a really good, strong rule to maximize participation throughout the entire league. And so every spot in the playoffs is well earned.
Harris on the bottom battles along with Gamble. This is going on for 10th and 11th outside the top 10. Closing in on the double nickel lap of 140 the distance here tonight at the Loudon's Lobster 140. Here comes the Taco Bell machine. Roy Grande on pit road. It is officially Taco Tuesday after midnight here in the East Coast. And green flag pit stops are going on. This is very strange here, unless they're trying to go for a different undercut strategy on the leaders that, Jeremy, we weren't thinking about.
I was not thinking these guys would be pitting just over 30 laps of a green flag run. That seems way too short for New Hampshire. So you're telling me they can only go 30 miles? Yeah, they got to be doing some type of long play strategy. A lot of the guys making their pit stop. I don't see that being the way to go. But we're up in the booth. They're in the trucks. They know what they're doing. They're talking to their teammates and whatnot. So kind of curious to see how this will play for the people that are short pitting.
There is the driver that obviously Kevin Smith, the boss of Win Racing, that Bob Speed, Click-It RV, West Coast Entry Chevrolet. Solid run going for that driver. In the second spot, obviously one of his drivers of the series, if you will. The protege from the mentor, Ryan Bloom. Up in that top spot behind him, Win Racing from Team LSRTV. There's Devin West. There's the defending series champion. And right now, Devin West having a good solid run for him. Multiple wins this year for the driver, obviously, of the number 5 from Shelton, Washington. And he is the most recent winner, if you will, because he picked up his 3rd win last Monday night at Darlington Raceway. He won the Dame Must Be Tamed 200.
This is an amazing race right here. Both trucks slipping and sliding all over the place there. Just the 00 Kevin Smith just way too loose for multiple corner sets. And Devin West finally gets that position. Now these guys we're closing in on your race leader, Ryan Bloom. So they got down to almost a half a second. They are within 0.5 or 0.6 of your race leader. So now the faster truck, who looks to have the best long run setup underneath them, now has a little bit of clean air after he passes a couple of lap down trucks here. Gets around one there. And then he's got one more to pass, it looks like. And then we're going to be seeing the 2 leaders duke it out here late in the going on this green flag run.
As we mentioned, we will be off next. Entitled from Talladega Superspeedway, the insurance claims 212. Ha!
I love it. And that is a golden name for Talladega. I absolutely love that. But as you were mentioning that schedule there, shift in the lead position, the 00 falling back, but the number 5 Devin West continuing to march his way all the way to the very top of the podium. P1 for that number 5. Ryan Bloom now settles in P2. The 58, you see him getting passed right now, Steven Paulison. He played a little factor in that lead shift there, was blocking the line of the 25 just a little bit. He got out of the way. That caused the number 5 of Devin to have a nice easy pass, but now here comes the 00 trying to make the effort, shifting back a little bit. We're focusing on the number 77, Frank Harris. He's looking to try to make a pass over the 56, Christopher White. This is for 9th and 10th place on your track.
For those that are listening on the Community Radio Network, 87.9 FM, as well as wearecrn.com, available on all major podcast platforms, as well as iRacing coverage of the Northwest Truck Series. I want to remind you, this week we have Speed Week's events, including broadcast coverage from, of course, Cherokee Speedway, as well as Toccoa Raceway, North Georgia Speedway, as well as Georgia Karting Complex this upcoming week. Live events, and of course, if you are a subscriber to Flow Racing, you can also check out that coverage for video quality. And that's where we'll be for coverage after tonight with iRacing here from virtual New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Look at this tangle for the lead lap traffic as a factor, put now 14 trucks on the lead lap as Ottenbacher for Team LSRTV goes a lap down. Now the leader under attack is by the boss. Here comes Win Racing's Walla Walla, Washington. Here comes now Smith. Can he get to the bottom? Yes, he will. Kevin Smith to the lead as more drivers pit. Carl Burke is on pit road.
Yeah, the number 5, Devin West, out to a almost 2-second lead over second place Kevin Smith, who just passed the number 25, Ryan Bloom, that last time by. So the top 3 shifted around pretty good. 4th place on back is over 3 seconds differential there. And it looks like the 40 or the 53 there's going to hang it up for the night. It looked like he disappeared on our screens, focusing back
53
on second and third place.
Burke's out. Burke's going to give up a 20th place run. Problems for that driver. As now we pick up this battle now for second and third as Devin West, now the man up in front leading the way. At one time of the race, Jeremy, we saw Win Racing, Ryan Bloom and Kevin Smith be the front runners, but now we're seeing a strategy where the 5 got up in front, set sail, and he has checked out, man. It's almost a second. It is a second and a half and more. 2 seconds back for Bloom to West now as we approach halfway in a couple of more laps as well.
Devin played the patience game, and it paying off so well for that number 5. Remember, he was taking his time around the 00 Kevin Smith. He finally had the window open. He made the quick pass, didn't have to use much extra tire wear. And then Ryan Bloom just kind of fell back there, really just heavily used the tires there in the first 40 to 50 laps on the run. Remember, our last pit stops, you said around 23, 24. So we're approaching 50 laps here in just a few laps on this set of Goodyear tires. And that's for the majority of the field. Some have short pitted, but a lot of these guys still on the old tires. You see the 21 on your screen right now, Tyler King, sliding like he's driving on ice through turn 2. He gets to turn 3. It looks like he's going to take a much more conservative approach. Holds the second groove. Much better corner set here for the number 21, Tyler King.
Right there, 2022 Series champion in that number 21 machine. Nicole Bryan Photography, Beaver State Racing entry. And you know, something I'm watching as well, Jeremy, things have kind of simmered with the fighting of the trucks off the exit of the corners. It's kind of dimmed a little bit, and that's a good thing. I don't want to take that away and say that's not great, but that's a good thing because obviously these either trucks are starting to finally get the handling, or the drivers have figured out how to try to keep these trucks in tow without having that happen.
Yeah, they could have really just abused the front tires to where the trucks are actually pushed tight, and then the drivers are naturally patient on throttle. They can't get on the throttle as early, so they're going to have to wait for corner exit, which means they're not turning the wheel as much when they get to exit and get the power down. So the right front tire especially could just be really cooked, and that could be changing out the whole corner for every single driver out here, and that's probably the good reason why we're not seeing a lot of trucks slipping and sliding like we were the first 10, 15, maybe even 20 laps into this run.
Stab now had a problem earlier in the race. He has worked his way back into a good spot for 7th. Dana Rogers obviously out there on the track as well. He's a couple of laps down in the 21st position. By the way, we are closing in the second half of the Loudon's Lobster 140. And right now, as just about a handful of laps after halfway, approaching lap 175, or lap 75 here of 140 laps, there are just 12 trucks on the lead lap. If a caution was to come out, Troy Daggett would get the free pass if a caution came out. And I think the next thing we brace ourselves for, unless we get another caution on the racetrack, Jeremy Stanley, would be green flag pit stops. It's not a matter of if, it's when. they peel onto pit road. It's going to be coming here any time now, very soon.
And when they do find themselves down pit road, I think it'll be their last green flag stop of the evening. And how these guys are really spaced out from one another. I'm looking across the board here. Everyone is a second gap or more for the most part on lap 76 of scheduled 140. And yeah, now this is going to be a green flag to the end. Maybe, just maybe, when we see a lot of these leaders come down pit road, Wesley, we're going to have that moment in time where we're going to the first 10 laps. We'll be driving on ice again. The tires have to rebuild the temps up. That might be the best time for someone who's one lap down, like Sean Brightsman, who's in that lucky dog spot. He could capitalize on something like that once green flag pit stop cycle through.
Devin West, Kevin Smith, Ryan Bloom, Paul Newton, Dan West Jr., your top 5 is me and Jeremy. I'll give you a full field rundown right now. Tyler King is 6th. Jeff Stabnow is 7th. Ryan Gormley is 8th. Frank Harris is 9th. And Christopher White currently in the top 10.
11th through 20th, you got Rob Gambill Jr., James Vining in 12th. 13th belongs to Troy Daggett. 14th place, John Ottenbacher. And 15th, your last truck on the lead lap is the number 58 of Stephen Pollinson. 16th on back is one lap down or more. That's Sean Brightsman. 17th is Brett Johnson. 18th, Roy Grande Jr. 19th, Brian Barnes. 20th, Ray Fournier, and I'll give the rest to Dana Rogers in 21st, Tyler Kim in 22nd, Carl Burke 23rd, and then the last 3 entries not in this event no longer. That's Chris Kynes, Stephen O'Hare, and Todd Miles, who did not start the race but still registered in the session. But those 3 guys right there not in this race.
In the words of our producer, Charles Wooten, nothing is happening on track right now. Lap traffic in the way of the lead lap traffic. The lead lap trucks are all single file. Nothing happening, but as we approach lap 80 and to the finish with 50 to go, we will be seeing green flag pit stops. We'll cover them and more after we step away to take a break. If something happens, we'll jump back in. But right now, it is even Steven with Devin West en route looking for his 4th win. It would be back-to-back as he won last week at Darlington. We come back from New Hampshire next.
Community Radio Network, WCRN 87.9 FM, Clayton, Garner, Raleigh, North Carolina, USA. We are CRN.
Drag race to the line!
We're a racing family that you can trust on and off the track. Here at Hercules Foundation Repair, we are here to help with our free in-home evaluations and personal repair plans. So if you're looking for foundation repair, go online or give us a call to schedule your free inspection.
We're back as green flag pit stops begin, and Ryan Bloom overshot his pit stall That is a costly mistake, especially under green flag conditions, Jeremy. You cannot do that if you're the leader.
Yeah, second and third place came down, and now here's your race leader, the one that looks like the man to beat, the number 5, Devin West, going to find his stall. Boom, perfect stop there for the number 5. Looks like him and maybe 2 or 3 others down pit road, this time on lap number 85.
Pit stops ongoing, as again, Jeremy did let everyone know that this will probably be the money stop. The only time that I see them coming back down to pit lane, Jeremy, would probably be if there was a late race caution. Speaking of that, it's been kind of a quiet night, but let's acknowledge my friend at NASCAR, Brian Morehouse at Virginia811.com, reminding you to dig with care. Take a look at the race summary as we approach the century grind. 85 of 140 laps, and there it is. Only a couple of caution flags, 8 caution laps in total, and 2 lead changes, and that literally happened, I believe, during the first cycle of pit stops, if you will, Jeremy.
Yeah, all the action on the caution perspective happened real early to nothing but green flag racing right now. 2 more coming down. That's going to be the 07 Dana Rogers and the number 22 as well. I don't think anybody else is coming down pit road at this time. So 2 win on lap 87. They go in nose to tail, 3, 2, 1, hits their marks. Yep, the rest of everybody else is staying on track here. And we still got quite a few to find pit road. But James Vining into 3:33. Actually, I think he's the last one of the lead lap trucks to find pit road. And there he is. He's entered in. The number 5, Devin West, cycles back as your race leader.
Ryan Gormley, there you see the Shell Pennzoil Chevrolet. Ryan Gormley with a win. Here comes now James Vining, the Cat Man, on the pit lane, the Toyota number 333. Now, Jeremy, if you're going to be a part of the broadcast crew now, as my new color guy, you got to know the stories. Summer of 2020, James Vining at Michigan, at a track racing. I guess he pissed his cat off, I don't know. But the cat attacked him while he was running an iRacing event, and it caused everything to shut off, and he crashed his truck in the process. And since then, that's where the nickname the Catman came from.
10-4 on that. I can tell you that's actually hilarious, but I can tell you that's not the only cat experience I've heard on the iRacing service. Last year, I was joining up with Firefly Esports for the Daytona Rolex 24 Hours on iRacing. 5.5 hours into our 24-hour race, the driver in our car, his cat jumped on his keyboard, wrecked our car, and I was toast. So, cats love to attack people while racing iRacing, apparently.
Boy, vicious 4-legged creatures with them eyes, especially in the dark. Lap number 90, we're approaching. Oh yeah, he attacked him. He attacked the cat, and it caused the cat attacked him. He didn't. Let me rephrase. He didn't attack the cat. The cat attacked him, and it caused the power to go out, and he also caused it for his VR headset to go out too. So the cat knocked the power out. It was plugged in. So yeah. Oh, we've had some funny stories.
Attack. They attack without being provoked. They just do their own thing. That's the nature of those vegans right there.
And that's why there is not no you know what in my house. Devin West in the lead. Smith and Bloom. Newton West. That's Father West watching Son West lead the way. Not only is Devin West looking for his 4th win in a row, he's also looking to go back-to-back. He won last week at Darlington, as I mentioned. He's also added on with wins that included a win at Richmond and at Watkins Glen. Those wins came back in April and May for the driver of the number 5. Roy Grande got a good run going for him right now. Had some problems on the start of the race, but the Taco Bell entry number 11 looking pretty stout right now.
Yeah, just looking right at midfield here, 14th place currently. He's on the lead lap. He's still in a decent spot, right? He's 1 lap down, yes, but in the scheme of things, there's trucks that are multiple laps down, and only being 12 on the lead lap, you can't fault them, man. That's a lot of good drivers right now that are not on the lead lap. That's just because Wes, Smith, and Bloom are just putting on a clinic compared to everybody else. So even though you're a lap down, that's not a bad thing, because 3 drivers out here kind of spoiling the fun for everybody else.
Yeah, definitely agree with you on that as we continue to watch these drivers continue to knock off laps. Approaching lap 100. 45 to go now, and they come to the line. I'm sorry, 46 to go. Here you see Dan West Jr. He's in 5th. Behind him is Tyler King. And by the way, Jeremy, they're separated by 10 seconds to the leader. Father West is 10 seconds behind his son.
Yeah, 10 whole seconds there. Apparently he needs to take notes from his son to get up there in the top 3. Still a strong night there for the 55. Only 10 seconds back. P5 on the pylon. So very good, strong performance here from Dan West. But yeah, look at this. The Smith, the 00, Kevin. I'm kind of surprised. He's hanging tight within that 1 to 1.5 second range from Devin West. That's been basically for the past 10 laps or so. But I expect Devin to be pulling away a little bit further on as this run continues to cycle through, as we're getting close to that 100 lap mark. So right now we have 45 laps to go.
Back straight away. Continuing to watch Devin West pick him up and put him down is now the Catman under attack. No, I'm sorry, that's Christopher White. There's 3 trucks that are teammates. They're part of the Aztec Sim Racing program. Robert Gamble, James Vining, and I believe it's Christopher White. And those trucks look so similar to one another. To the keen eye. There's the 56 that I was referring to. The Glazers entry, 56. Which I don't even think he's a teammate with Aztec Sim Racing Esports. He's just, the truck colors just look so similar. See what I mean?
Yeah, a lot of black-red trucks out here. It's time for this guy right here at the 46, Sean Brightsman. Complete different color compared to everybody else. Him and Roy Grande figured it out color scheme-wise for us here up in the booth, but everybody else, very neutral colors across the whole field.
Green flag pit stops still going. Right now, Sean Brightsman entering pit road, exiting pit road. Is it just me, Jeremy? It looks like there's more toe end on the right front of the 46 than there is on showing the tire from the left front of Brightsman.
Well, remember on that lap 2 wreck, or lap 3, he was the one who ramped. It might have been even the 11 of Roy Grande shortly after the corner exit turn 2, and so that truck had never been fully repaired, and so that's all the damage that they could repair. The 46 there, you see the 99 Troy Daggett. He's going to give up 12th or 11th place here to find the service of his crew for the final green flag stop for his camp there in the Toyota Tundra, and he's going to take 4 tires, send him back out, but this will put him over a lap down when he gets out and back onto the racing surface.
Carhartt, Toyota, Troy Daggett on pit road. Exiting now back onto the track with under 40 to go now. And we have just passed lap number 100. Let's go. Jeremy and I give you the full field rundown as we are nearing the home stretch of this one here. Devin West in the lead. Kevin Smith is second. Ryan Bloom is third. Followed by Paul Newton, Dan West Jr., Tyler King, Jeff Stabnow, Ryan Gormley, Frank Harris, and Christopher White. Right now, the top 10. There are 9 drivers right now, Jeremy, on the lead lap as we complete lap 102 now.
Just under 40 laps to go here. Taking an overhead view here of the front straightaway, focusing on the number 4 here, Brian Barnes. A lot of traffic right here. People running second, first, and even the third groove. 5 or 6 trucks, almost nose to tail. This is about as much action as we've seen on the track in probably the last 50 laps on average. And it's just a mix of lead lap trucks, trucks that are 1 lap down. And this is also, you know, the pit cycle was so extended that you're going to see trucks passing other trucks more frequently as they kind of just drive through on different paces. So this is not totally uncommon here.
36 laps to go. Yeah, Jeremy, how many of these people are saying, damn it, I need a caution? I want a caution. If you're a guy like Devin West right now or Kevin Smith or Ryan Bloom, you just want to ride this one out, right?
Yeah, basically. You know your day is done as far as like winning the race, so you just got to ride along, man. You got 5 seconds behind or in front of the next person behind you, which is the 27 there of Paul Newton. So if you're Ryan Bloom, you're just riding. Maybe Kevin makes a mistake. He's got him within a second to a second and a half. So if the double zero can make a mistake, cool. But right now the 25, like you said, just really asking for that caution.
Right now, Loudon's Lobster 140 is going to Devin West. Back-to-back wins. An all-time winner of the season so far with 3 wins. Obviously after winning Darlington last week. He locked that up. Most wins of anybody else on the series, by the way. 3 wins for Devin West. There is a couple of drivers with 2 wins. That includes Sean Brightsman and Tyler King. And then drivers with wins as well this year include Ryan Gormley, Dennis Moore, Kevin Smith, Toby Ritters, who is not running with the series anymore with Ace High Racing, and finally Jeff Stabnow, who won in Daytona. Highlight back in March for his start of the season, but since then it has been kind of a dismal drive for the 24. But remember, Jeremy, he won Daytona. Tonight locks up the 15 races he needs. So, you know, for those guys that won and are in race 15 of tonight, you're thinking about the playoffs, right? I mean, I know you got to get through the rest of the regular season, but you could literally take off for the next 2 or 3 weeks and get your batteries recharged to go for the playoffs because you accomplished what the minimum requirement was. I'm not saying that they're going to do that, but that is an ace in the hole, if you will, if you're going to go on a vacation or a cruise or just decide to have a break for a minute.
Yeah, you absolutely can, and it might be well worth it. I mean, or you can just say, hey, you know what? We got 5 weeks before the first race of the playoffs. Of course, you got the one off and then the 3 races prior. So maybe you just kind of focus in on that, you know, focus on the strategy of each of those races. They know the schedule. They know what's coming up. So you can do that, or like you said, just kind of, you know what? I'm gonna not turn on the computer tonight because I don't have to. Maybe my requirements. So, yeah, that also might be a great idea. Yeah, burnout is a thing. And, you know, if you're grinding each week and you got a well-earned position, take it, man. Take that night off.
Thanks for everybody that's joining us, of course, for iRacing on LSRTV or listening on the Community Radio Network. As the laps continue to tick down here to the finish. Devin West still up in front. Kevin Smith in second. Ryan Bloom third. Newton West top 5. That's, by the way, Dan West Jr. in that 5th position. And they're all spread out around the racetrack. And there's lap trucks everywhere. And this just allows Devin West to continue to increase the interval on not just Kevin Smith, but everybody on the scoring pylon from second on back there, Jeremy, at lap 112.
Yeah, Mr. Devin West is just putting on a clinic right now. 3.5 over Smith, another 2 seconds back. I thought Bloom was going to maybe fight Kevin for second place, but he has kind of lost that pace. But he still has that 5-second lead over fourth place Paul Newton. And then look at that, down the pylon, 11 seconds back, 12, 13, 18, 24, 9 trucks currently on the lead lap right now. And then 77 Harris, who's in 9th place right now, he's under 10 seconds away from being lapped down from your race leader, Devin West, who just continues to impress us here on this long run. Really has his thing dialed in compared to everybody else that came here tonight for the Loudon Lobster 140.
Approaching the end of it here as now we look at a battle starting to heat up. Charles has found some kind of action around the Magic Mile. As right now, Dan West Jr. trying to be in hot pursuit after the 27 of Paul Newton. Right there in that Ford, number 27. Bow tie and oval going at it.
There's a tail here. 27, 55. This is for 4th and 5th place on the track here, as they're going to close lap 115, start at lap 116 for these guys. And yeah, great drive in there from the 55. Dan West going to elect to take the 3rd groove over the 2nd groove that the 27 of Paul Newton is running. I thought he had it there in corner center, but 55 is going to dance himself off a turn 2 exit. He's going to lose 2 truck lengths over the 27 Paul Newton. You get to turn 3, you see the distance there. They match each other's corner, entrance, and exit. So the 55 now has a little bit more work to do to get back to the 4th place truck of Paul Newton.
Daggett inside of the 89 of Ottenbacher. That's a battle, by the way, for 13th and 14th. Though these trucks are both a lap down, that is for racing on the track, going back into the corner.
This is 89 on your screen right now, P14. And yeah, just running down Troy Daggett here. Really closing in 0.3 of a second. Gets the corner center. Looks like the 89 might be rotating a little bit better than the 99 of Troy. At the line there, 0.2 of a second. So he gained 0.1 there through 3 and 4. Now getting to turn number 1 and 2. 89 is going to run a half a groove up compared to the 99. But really shallow corner exit. Oh, Troy Daggett a little loose there on corner exit turn 2. It's going to bring in almost under 0.2 of a second. As here comes John looking at a 1 lane up over the 99 in turn 3 and 4. He's got that really shallow corner exit. I think if he can get a little bit more speed on or get the throttle down a little bit earlier, I think he might be able to make this pass for 13th. Or right now, the way he's driving the corner exits, I don't know if he's got the speed to do it.
Closing in on 21, well, actually 22 laps to go now. These guys work their way to the corner. Look at now the battle going on for, I believe, 4th. Dan West Jr. inside, battling Paul Newton. Newton up on the outside. Things finally starting to get spicy, if you will, at the home stretch of this event. We're closing in on 20 laps to go when they come down to the line. Devin West is up in front. We're ready to settle this one here at virtual New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Who's going to be kissing that virtual lobster from Loudon when this race concludes? We're about to find out in about 20 laps to go when they come to the line this time by. Very quickly, we'll step away. We'll pause very fast for 10 seconds of network and station identification. This is iRacing with the Northwest Truck Series on CRN, the Community Radio Network. The finish on deck when we return.
Community Radio Network, WCRN 87.9 FM, Clayton, Garner, Raleigh, North Carolina, USA. We are CRN.
A stormy night in the Carolina area of Johnston, Wake, and Wayne County. For those that are listening on the radio, obviously stay tuned for any emergency alert notifications if the weather does continue to get nasty. Things have kind of simmered down for the last couple of hours, but one thing that has not simmered down is tonight's coverage of the Northwest Racing Truck Series for tonight's race at New Hampshire Motor Speedway, round number 15. Of course, thanks for those that are watching iRacing on LSRTV or listening on the Community Radio Network. I'm Leslie Outland. New color analyst, of course, is Jeremy Stanley. Want to send a bon voyage and well wishes and endeavors and anything he does in the future for a longtime colleague, Jason Rockefeller, but a change needed to be made. Jeremy is the guy. Charles Wooten doing a phenomenal job on the production as always. You've heard him a time or two chime in on broadcasts of the past, but let's be honest, Jeremy, your first foyer in the booth, 2 cautions. That's all it's been. It's been a very quiet night, as if you had a track map, you could literally see that in some shape or form, there is trucks around this racetrack from turn 1 to turn 4, all the way around the, of course, 750-foot front and back straightaway as well.
The first time with a broadcast that went over midnight on my end, so getting used to a little different changes. Seeing approaching 1 a.m. I'm used to staying up this late all the time. This is normal, but calling a race this late, this is something different. So hopefully we get used to things and I buckle down and we're gonna have a great time. But this is an interesting track for me to jump into and get used to all the drivers out here. It's been lackluster as far as like side-by-side racing is concerned. The strategies kind of threw us for a loop for a little bit there. We kind of figured out what happened after the fact, but man, just getting used to all the drivers now, this is a great time for me to study each and every single one, where their strengths and weaknesses are here for at least a flat track, that is. And I'm happy to be a part of it, but 15 laps to go. West still holds a 4.5 second lead now. And top 9 still on the lead lap. Harris in the 77. He's about 6 seconds away, I do believe, from Devin West. I don't think Devin's going to get to Mr. Harris, but that's crazy. 9 drivers West, they're on the lead lap only.
And honestly, it's happened this way, Jeremy, because we've had these long green flag runs. I mean, let's be honest, one battle for the lead of a lead change happened by drivers literally changing up positions going onto the pit lane. That's how it's all changed around. Right now, Devin West is just, he's the Pied Piper. And I know a lot of people use that word, if you will. I've in the past always said the cat's pajamas, but anyhow, the number 5 has looked for now his 4th win back-to-back after winning Darlington last week. Oh, by the way, Jeremy, he's a defending series champion. Could this guy be looking for repeat mode?
I mean, why not, right? You had all the head of steam last season. You got the job done, and doesn't look like too much has changed in that camp. So absolutely, go for the back-to-back. Do what you can there. Just kind of shows what you're worth to this league here for the Northwest Truck Series. And yeah, if you got the opportunity, go for it, man.
12 laps to go. A dozen laps remain. They'll be coming to the line off the bow. Whoa! Brett Johnson dives out of line. Teammate to Team LSRTV driver Dan West Jr. Johnson scampers out of the way. He's in 20th, 3 laps down. I think he was trying to be nice and say, okay, there's a race, I'm not in it. Hey, guy, you're my teammate. Have at it, boy. And I think maybe he dove to the bottom a little too hard, and that could have caused the truck to go around in the 7, but luckily it didn't as the 55 went by there.
Yeah, kept it clean there, and now we're at the 10 laps to go mark as Devin West just crossed the line there. So 10 more miles around this place, and we're going to crown ourselves a champion for this event. And still 4.5 second lead, first to second place. And 77 Harris, I kept mentioning it. He finally actually did fall to Devin West. So now 8 drivers are only on the lead lap. It looks like Gormley in the 22 is about 10 seconds ahead. So I truly believe he's going to be safe from going a lap down. Man, this is just crazy how the top 2 have just kind of really, top 3 for that matter, breaking away. Bloom had strong intentions the first 15, 20 laps. I thought the 25 had a solid chance at this. But man, once ever we got to that long portion of the run, it's just been all the number 5 and 00 from this point forward.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And we are, by the way, also in single digits. 9 make it 8 laps to go when they come to the line. 8 miles remaining here in this race tonight at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. There you see Chris White. He right now is settling in the top, well, outside the top 10 actually. He's in 11th, 1 lap down. 8 trucks on the lead lap with 8 laps to go. As Jeremy mentioned, the leaders are closing into the home stretch, and it's all Devin West with a 4.5 second lead over Kevin Smith. 6 seconds back to Ryan Bloom, and then, believe it or not, 14 seconds back to his daddy Dan West Jr. Paul Newton in the top 5, and it just continues to grow more as they work the back straightaway.
And this is just continuing to grow and grow here. Going to be 6 laps to go here after Devin West completes turns 3 and 4, running a very low groove, or second groove there. Almost put his left sides there on the flat first groove that barely anybody runs, because it's such a degree of making difference. But very conservative line here, but he's got plenty of time. He can do this, right? He's basically pacing himself. No problem. He's got some lap trucks ahead, but they're pretty spaced out. I imagine to give him a ton of room to complete this event. And 5 is just trying to take that virtual lobster home, as you said earlier.
Devin West hits his mark to the line. Open hand, 5 laps to go. As that driver settles back into turn number 1 and 2, there is some more lap traffic up ahead at the tail end of the leader. As they work their way down the back stretch, it looks like Tyler Kim, Ray Fournier, Troy Daggett already multiple laps down. These guys might go down more because Devin West is taking no prisoners, Jeremy, in his path as he's got 4 laps, 4 miles to go for win 4 of the year. A lot of 4s in that sentence.
Yeah, are you for real on that one there? I'll add into it. That was a bad Jeremy joke right there. But yeah, if you're going to catch me every single week, you're going to hear some really bad jokes along the way. That is just how I'm going to be. So buckle up for that. But approaching 3 laps to go now. Do you call them Jeremy-isms? I've been trying to take the bad Jeremy jokes, but either way, I mean, nickname it up. It's going to be a fun time.
People say I have Wesley-isms too. So Jeremy-isms, Wesley-isms.
Jeremy-isms.
Tomato. There you go. 3 to go.
Let's keep it going.
Devin West is the man up in front. He quickly got around Ray Fournier. He quickly got around Tyler Kim. He now sets his sights on Troy Daggett, who's trying to scamper away like an alley cat or like a mouse from an alley cat in a dark night. It is now the penultimate lap, Jeremy. 2 laps to go. Devin West setting sail for another win here at the Magic Mile.
Just under 2 miles left, and Devin West will pick up yet another checkered flag. As we're really close here. This is a very unique track to the schedule. The other mile tracks are high banked. This one completely not. So it's a little bit of a hybrid track, if you will, but this thing's been here for quite some time. 1 lap to go here for Devin West as he crosses the start-finish line, heads off to turn number 1 for the final time.
That is the CRN 1 to go. Obviously, as I mentioned, iRacing tonight, Southern National Series Racing and the Georgia Karting Complex events on We Are CRN this weekend. As right now, Devin West. Yeah, you can go ahead and put the results up because it's pretty much an open book case. Win 4, Devin West, defending champion, back to back in the 5. He tames the lobster. He'll kiss the lobster if we had one. The Magic Mile at New Hampshire belongs to the 5 of Devin West. 4th win this year, back-to-back winner last week at Darlington, and pretty much the defending series champion, I believe. Jeremy Stanley has just made an emphatic statement that he wants to be the guy to lift the championship cup again at the end of the road of the regular season to the playoffs for the number 5.
See what kind of burn. I do have a little personal rule myself, that if you hit the wall during your burnouts, I call you out on it. He almost gets clipped by 2 trucks.
Well, welcome to the Northwest. Welcome
Well.
to the Northwest High Five Salute, my friend, because that happens every Monday night after we race.
He just got obliterated, man. Well-earned victory like that and just gets flipped over the pit wall. I've not seen that in quite some time. There's your high five definite salute, because he's got no more burnout left in that 5 truck.
Oh, they're still going to crash one another. Don't worry. Look at it.
Here we go.
Stab now, and Brightsman just walloped. He just walloped Devin West into the safer barrier in the corner. Oh, yeah. You weren't expecting that, were you, Jeremy? This is the highlight of the night right here. Sometimes it is that way.
Yeah, not one, but man, Devin West has been a quarter of a mile being destroyed around this track. That's really impressive stuff right there.
So much for that, what do you call it, no fast repair. All right, you see him scattered and littered over there in turn 2 on the top right of the monitor. Here's a look at the results. You saw it pop up before the checkered flag because literally it was official. Damn thing was over. Devin West wins by 7 seconds on the interval over Kevin Smith. Ryan Bloom back to 3rd. Paul Newton 4th, followed by Tyler King in the top 5. Jeff Stabnow, pretty good solid point stay for him. He'll finish 6th. So is Ryan Gormley. Dan West Jr., father to Devin, will finish 8th on the lead lap. Frank Harris, James Vining with another solid top 10 for Frank Harris, the legend in 9th, Vining 10th, and that is the way they finish in the top 10 there, Jeremy.
Yeah, 11th on back. Yeah, Christopher White, 12th place. Rod Gamble, 13th, Troy Daggett. 14th, John Ottenbacher. 15th will be Sean Brightsman. 16th, Stephen Paulison. 17th, Roy Grande Jr. 18th, Brian Barnes. 19th, Dana Rogers. 20th place, Brett Johnson. 21st, Ray Fournier. 22nd, Tyler Kim. 23rd, Carl Burke. 24th, Chris Kynes. 25th, Stephen O'Hare. And Todd Miles did not start the race, but he is on the boards for 26th place.
Yeah, he at least gets the acknowledgement for trying to at least attempt, if you will. Let's take a look one more time at the race summary at night's end. Thanks to Brian Morehouse, my buddy with the NASCAR Will and Modifieds, and of course, Virginia811.com, reminding you to dig with care. Here's the race summary at the end of tonight's event of round 15. 2 cautions. They happened early in the start. 7 caution laps. Lead changes were 3. And that final one was enough for Devin West to not only win back-to-back, but the defending series champion to get win number 4, most of anybody in the regular season. Coming up, post-race, Jeremy, myself, grab the drivers of tonight's event at Loudon, New Hampshire at the end of round 15. Devin West gets it done. He is going to be able to kiss the lobster here tonight at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Don't go anywhere. We'll grab the podium. This is iRacing on LSRTV. And, of course, for those listening on the Community Radio Network. All right, so apparently we're going to have a very fast post-race wrap-up. Welcome back to coverage of iRacing on LSRTV and CRN. Let's grab the winner of the race, his 4th win this year, back-to-back after winning Darlington last week, and puts himself in the hunt for the championship back-to-back again. Devin West, congratulations, man. That Cinco truck was just on another rail than anybody else tonight, I think.
Yeah, thank you, Wesley. Truck was like I told Jeff and John and Sean and Dad, and obviously Brett. The truck was amazing. I didn't get to help too much this week in practice, but when I showed up tonight, I wasn't too sure what we had. I don't think any of us were really. We were confident in what we had, and the truck was just amazing. I mean, I felt like Kevin and Ryan were super fast, and somehow I just found another gear, and I have no idea where it came from. So.
Were you at any time concerned with the format of this race? Obviously, with, I said this coming on the air, I could really tell that these drivers were going to be fighting the rear ends off the corners into 2 and 4. Did you think, oh my goodness, we're going to have a yellow flag, caution flag fiesta, if you will, and it didn't turn out that way?
Yeah, if I remember correctly, in years past, New Hampshire has been a bit of a not necessarily a caution fest. We definitely had its fair share of cautions, right? We had that caution early on like lap 2 or 3, and then went the rest of the way, I think. So, yeah, I know also when I was leading those last laps, I was ready for a caution, mentally preparing for one. I feel very fortunate we did not get it.
So were you hoping to get a late race caution? Did you feel like you needed one?
No, I did not need one. I was scared I was going to get one. I did not want
gotcha. One. Okay. I'm sorry. I got what you were saying backwards there. So, hey, listen, you have put yourself in the proverbial catbird seat to defend your championship crown from winning it last year. Is it being more difficult this year to try to win the championship than what you did last year, you feel, as the playoffs are looming?
I mean, a little bit. I mean, last year was super difficult. I mean, when racing like this year is incredibly hard to beat week in and week out. You know, I feel like I stole one from last week, and I feel very fortunate this week to have just had a good truck and, to go get this win. But, with this new iRacing update with the new truck setups, you got Tyler and Stefan and Paul, those guys are fast too now, so it's going to be a dogfight to the end.
Well, buddy, before I let you go, thank your sponsors, and congratulations. Enjoy next Monday night off, and we'll see you down the stretch in Indianapolis, Chicago, and Talladega.
Yeah, obviously you guys are in the booth. LSRTV does a great job of broadcasting, probably the best in the business. I go back and watch all the replays just for fun because I enjoy it. Then obviously Team LSRTV, Jeff, Sean, Dad, Brett, John. Those guys, are responsible for this setup and this truck tonight, so obviously big shout out to them. I spoke to Web Solutions, Kenny's Custom Hardwood, and Motorsports Distributing.
There you go. There's, again, Devin West, the winner. He gets it done. 4th win this year. Kevin Smith was not available. Ryan Bloom was not available. Paul Newton was not available. Neither was Tyler King. But Jeff Stabnow joins us as the 6th place finisher of the race. And, Jeff, we could also say that this is your, 3-quarter mid-race report, if you will, on the season after winning Daytona, man. What's your take of tonight? Had a little hiccup there at the start. You were one of those drivers that was really fighting the rear end being loose in the corners, but you still salvage yourself on the lead lap and another top 10 finish.
First of all, Wesley, you're a jerk. We said no interviews for out of the top 5, dang it. I got
it's only one spot.
I got caught up in that mess on the 3rd lap. I got some damage on that truck, and of course went green the rest of the way. I couldn't fix it. It was still a good truck. I still had plenty of speed. I think it was, that was part of why it's fighting loose. I over tightened it on that first green flag pit stop, and still just kind of hung in there. And then we got the truck back running pretty good on that last run. I thought it was pretty quick, but just too much left traffic for me to really get through and do anything. So just kind of kicked back and cruise to a 6th place finish. But
were you concerned that there was going to be problems with these trucks spinning back and forth in the corners? like what you were dealing with at the start?
No, I really was a little bit surprised that we were doing that, to be honest with you. We built the set and worked on it all week, and it was great. I mean, it was last night. We knew it was a fantastic set. Great on the long run. Devin's always nervous, but I knew we had a great set. We weren't fighting that loose off the corners at all. So to be honest with you, I was a little bit surprised when we got here that the race started off with like that. But I figured it would rubber it up, and we'd grip up nice once we started putting a little bit of rubber on that track and get that under control. And I think that's what happened. I didn't think you saw near as much slipping. As the race wore on, I think everybody was gripped up a lot more getting off the corner.
Jeff, if I remember correctly, 15 races minimum to make the playoffs. A lot of drivers like yourself and others have done that tonight, and with wins too, man. What's your take of the season? Obviously, you came out of the gate swinging for season 11, winning at Daytona.
I think we're where we need to be. I think, we were a little slow to figure out the front end of this new truck, so I think when they gave us the new front end, you saw a couple weeks there where we really struggled, but if you look at the last 2 weeks, I think we've been a lot better. Maybe we stole one last week, but we were still good enough. Devin was good enough to be up there in position to steal it. John and Brett had strong runs too. So we had a good truck last week, and we had a great truck this week. So I think we're where we want to be. We're starting to figure it out. I see Win Racing's figuring out this front end too at about the same time. So I expect it to be a dogfight going down the stretch, but I think we're running good.
Well, Bud, before I let you go, man, thank your sponsors and everybody. Enjoy the week off, and we'll see you at the Brickyard in Indianapolis. That's a place you've had some success at in the past as well.
Absolutely. I love that track. I think that's a great track. It's fun. We've been fast there before, and it's always a challenge to build a good truck for that with those long, the balance between the aero and those high-speed corners. So looking forward to the Brickyard. As far as the sponsors, LSRTV, CRN, you guys are awesome. You're the best. Love going back, watching these races. Cody puts on the best production, I still believe, in all the iRacing producers out there with that beautiful 4K that he puts out. And Wesley, you're just top notch there behind the mic. So big shout out to LSRTV and Community Radio Network. And, big thanks to all the teammates that make this fun to do and fun to work with, and we kind of have a fun time throughout the week just putting these sets together and getting ready for the races. So big shout out to all those guys that make this actually enjoyable.
There you go. There's Mr. Jeff Stabnow. And obviously, if a lot of people do not know, he's also behind Rocket Media with Charles Wooten that handles, obviously, the productions for iRacing on LSRTV, like the Northwest Racing Series. If you'd like to know more, go to lsrtv.com, livesimracing.com, and, of course, on social media to find all the details and information. We're off next Monday night. We are back at Indianapolis in 2 weeks, and the home stretch is upon us on the road to the playoffs. Devin West wins tonight at, of course, New Hampshire. It is his 4th win of the year for the defending series champion from Shelton, Washington. Be good to one another. Next iRacing on LSRTV broadcast will be Wednesday with Jeremy Charles and myself, of course, at Auto Club Speedway with a full throttle sim racing truck series. For Jeff Stabnow, Charles Wooten, new color analyst Jeremy Stanley, this is Wesley Outland thanking you and yours for joining us. Enjoy the week off. We'll see you in 2 weeks for the Brickyard, Indianapolis, as the road to the Northwest Racing Series Championship in 2024